to the Warriors, who took a commanding 3-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals Saturday against Portland. And Draymond Green has been huge. They've not missed a beat since the absence of Kevin Durant, and Draymond has been a huge factor. Triple-double in Game 3, 20 points, 13 boards, 12 assists. Here's his coach, Steve Kerr, on the performance of Draymond Green.
I don't even know what to say about Draymond. I mean, he was like a wrecking ball out there. He was just destroying everything in his path. The pace that he was generating was incredible, and it just seemed like he never got tired.
Listen, this is what Draymond Green, this is how he made himself into a star. This is what this team looked like before Kevin Durant got there and how he made himself into an all-star. Look at his numbers. He has 28 triple-doubles in his career, including the playoffs, and Golden State has won 27 of those games. So, Jay Will, give us a closer look as we come over here at just what Draymond is doing and why it is so effective.
Well, in Game 3, he had 20, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists, okay? And he's great. He's actually brilliant, Greeny, at making reads. So you're going to see Draymond, he's going to start off down at this portion of the court, okay? As we break down this little play, you're going to see him come up in this action. And once again, it's a little DHO right here. And now look at this play develops. This is going to be Klay setting the screen. And this is CJ McCollum, this is Dame. They're going to switch, okay? Klay recognizes the switch. Klay is going to dive right down to the low block. Look at when Steph comes off this. He's going to come off, and he's going to clear out to the other side. And then you're going to see the vision of Draymond right over the top, right away, Greeny, looking for this mismatch, okay? You have this play right here. This is 6'2", guarding 6'7". All right? He recognizes it, goes right to it right away, shot right over the top. Easy play, easy read. Once again, Draymond Green as a point forward, getting the rebound, spacing out. Now, as the play breaks down, look how they flare out. This is what's beautiful about this team, okay? Your first thing you taught when you play basketball, you get back, you protect the paint. That's the most important part, but not the way you play against Golden State defensively because they have three-point shooters. So let's talk about this, Green, real quick. Last 10 games, okay? Yeah. You have Klay. 44% from the three-point line. You have Steph, 50% from the three-point line. Look at how the players, you have to go out and guard them. Steph Curry stays there, Dame stays there. He has a decision to make. Now, Draymond sees this, but watch the vision though. He has so many options, Greeny. He can have Steph out here for a three if he helps. He can have Klay here for a three if he helps. Or he can have Andre Iguodala running right down to this spot here. Makes the right play, boom, slam dunk, right? Those easy reads that he makes all the time. Now, once again, here's the best, okay? You're going to see Maurice Harkless. He has the ball. He's defending Draymond Green right here. He's paying attention to this action down here. All right? He's paying attention. You see his head turn. His head's turned, paying attention to this down here again. What's happening with this action? Draymond sees it too, but he gambles. Look which way he gambles. He gambles with the right hand. Draymond just makes another great read, recognizing that all the action is happening here, recognizing that this player is locking in, staying home here, opens up a clear lane to the basket for an easy left-hand finish. Draymond's ability to be the quarterback with this team, to make those reads all the time, to see the progressions of the offense is what makes him absolutely brilliant.
He is able to facilitate the offense. They run the offense through Draymond Green, which they do not do when Kevin Durant is on the floor. And in my opinion, and this is why I continue to say this, and I don't want anyone to misread what I'm saying. I'm not trying to knock Kevin Durant. He is the best player right now in the world. But Draymond Green is an entirely different player when KD is not on the floor because he facilitates the offense, and that's what makes him so special. So let me get RJ in here because I want to ask you this question, because I saw some quotes attributed to Draymond over the weekend where he said that he sort of did some self-reflection and recognized he was too busy complaining to the referees and worrying about other things, and that's why he's playing better.
It's about time he did some self-reflection.
Well, he said it, but to me it's not about that. It's about the fact that he's now doing the things because KD is not there. They are once again utilizing all of these skills that Draymond has that really get pushed to the background when KD is out there. And this is how he became an all-star in the NBA.
Well, yeah, and it's funny that Draymond would say this because everybody else has been saying this, but without Kevin Durant, you realize you have no room for error, right? Like, you have to play great. You got to be focused. You can't be focused on the officials and this and all this other stuff going on. Draymond has to just play high-level basketball. And if you're worried about anything else other than that, you're not going to be helping your team the way you should.
And also, I can make this case, Greeny. Okay, because Kevin Durant's on the court, Draymond plays a different way. There's nobody stopping Draymond Green from playing this way when KD is on the court as well.
That's actually completely false.
That's not false.
I agree with you.
That's completely false.
Okay.
And I will show you an example later. I am so glad you set up. That might be the best pass and best assist you've ever had.
These two guys fight. I should just, everyone has
All
a
the
little
time.
like peek behind the curtain. The fighting between the two of
But
them is just unbelievable. I need to get Thibodeau in here just to separate them
Draymond
sometimes.
naturally defers to Kevin, and granted, they've had fights before. Okay.
Okay.
So all I'm saying, can you allow me to finish and stop just always trying to argue with somebody? So what I'm saying is Draymond, if KD comes back, Draymond can still play that way, but still you're going to need KD to isolate down the stretch.
Yeah,
you're going to need to isolate KD.
But you just said that he defers and that no one's stopping Draymond from doing what Draymond's doing. I'm going to show you an example of Draymond playing this way, then Kevin Durant and an issue that was had, and then now Draymond playing
Is that
just
an
like
indictment on Draymond or is that an indictment on Steve Kerr, head coach? If that's the best way
Oh,
they
so
need to
now you're
play.
blaming Steve Kerr?
I'm not blaming anybody.
You're blaming, it's an indictment on someone. If you're indicting someone, someone's getting in trouble.
Well,
This is so much fun. I'm giving everyone just a sneak peek as to which camera we have here. What a delight it is just to be working with the two of these guys every single day. I will let them go at this as we go, but I have to take a short break. And as we continue, I'll remind you that Golden State is going for the sweep tonight against Portland. It's on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. Game 4 tonight, 9 Eastern. Coverage starts at 8 with NBA Countdown. It's all streaming live on the ESPN app, so you took a commanding 3-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals. Again without Kevin Durant, but Steph Curry playing brilliantly, scoring 36 points on that night. Here's more from Stephen A. Smith on the...
I'm telling you right now, I believe without KD, they will wear you down. But with KD, you have somebody that can look the Greek freak eye to eye because he's just as tall. The difference is he can pull up from 30 regularly and beat you down that way. With KD, Golden State three-peats. Without KD, they fall to the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals. Either way you slice it, to me, this is the last run for KD because it's clearly Steph's team.
I feel like I'm listening to a screenplay.
Well, the drama in the voice. But here's the thing. It's just the little thing you threw in there at the end that made me want to bring that to this table because it is so clearly Steph's team. And you did a terrific job. For those of you who are not with us Friday morning, Jay Will made a big point of pointing out that the fans in Oakland on Thursday night, at one point that Steph is at the foul line, are chanting MVP, MVP at Steph Curry. And that's a big deal to me because for as long as I can remember, and I'll go back to when Moses Malone was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in 1983, there was all this debate over whose team is it? Is it Dr. J's team? Is it Moses Malone's team? And everyone said Moses was very deferential. He said, oh, no, of course it's Dr. J's team. When everyone knew it wasn't. Moses Malone was the best player on the team, was the MVP of the league, and they won the championship. So all of that stuff, whose team it is, just how important is it to players at that level?
Well, it is to a certain degree, and we can even go back, to the D-Wade, LeBron James, pair up. Like D-Wade was there. He was the stud. LeBron came and he finally deferred and was like, no, Bron, this is your team. Go do what you do, and then I'll fill in around. Well, the way I see with Kevin Durant is that obviously everyone knows that they need him, but my thing with Steph is that he was drafted by him. He won a championship by him. He is the guy. That's why Kevin Durant said and looked him in his eyes during free agency that I needed to hear from Steph because Kevin Durant understands that it's his team. And when he hears from Steph that it's okay for him to come there and be the best player, even though it's his team.
That's fine. But that's fine 3 years ago. But is that fine going forward? At the end of the day, is what will break this thing up the notion that no matter what Kevin Durant does, he's still playing on Steph Curry's team?
I'm not saying it's going to be the infinite thing that does, but I mean, if you want to be a great player, how does that not affect you? I mean, we're going to have a conversation about this Kyrie go back to LeBron. For people to think that there aren't egos involved in this whole thing, and Tibbs, like I said, I give you so much credit. Your ability to break down egos is something that's challenging. That has to be a big thing. If you want to win a world championship and you want something to be deemed as your team, are you willing to carry around the narrative for the rest of your life that you won it on somebody else's team and it wasn't your team? That's a question you have to ask yourself.
I think there's a willingness to sacrifice by all of them. They want to three-peat.
I agree.
And that's a high priority for all of them. And I think you look at this team and the sacrifices that have been made already. Steph bringing KD there, that was a huge sacrifice. Draymond has sacrificed the entire time. Andre Iguodala may have sacrificed more than anyone. He came off the bench for a long time. The guy was a great player and is a great player in this league, and it has had great impact on that team. They all sacrificed. Klay Thompson, we all overlook him, but when you're competing against him, that guy is phenomenal. The way he can shoot the ball the way he can guard, the things he brings to the team, no ego. And right now they're playing without any agendas. They're just trying to win.
Well, and so part of that might be what's fueling this conversation is if you watch them play, particularly Draymond Green, who looks like and is a completely different player when Kevin Durant is not there because he facilitates the offense. He runs the offense from his position, which is a rarity in the NBA, and shows you why he became an all-star in a league where when Kevin Durant is on the team, his role is minimized to a different extent. So that, I think, is what is fueling people saying, they're certainly more fun to watch when Durant is not playing. Are they actually more difficult to beat?
Well, I don't know if they're more fun to watch. I think winning makes it the most fun to watch. And I think that team knows to win it, they need Kevin. To beat Milwaukee. Milwaukee right now, if Golden State doesn't have Durant, I think Milwaukee will be favored in that series.
You don't think that it is more, when you watch those guys and they are moving the ball the way they do and passing the ball as much as any team we've seen in the NBA pass it in 20 years, as opposed to dumping it to a guy, again, the best scorer maybe in NBA history, but still throwing it to a guy and saying, go ahead and find a way to score a basket here. And he does it every time. None of this is meant to diminish Kevin Durant, but my point is they're that rare team that when he's not there can beat you with ball movement and all the rest of that, and it is more beautiful to watch, isn't it?
I have a different vantage point, though, because I think beauty is within the complexities of the game. I think it's more reminiscent of how they won it the first time, which I can see from a fan saying, hey, it is amazing to watch because of the ball movement, but also getting a chance to watch Kevin Durant in person. You see the style in which he plays. You see the way he takes care of the mismatches and the nuances of the game. And then you see how Steph and Clay move off the ball with him playing. Yeah, it might take away a little bit more from Draymond Green. It's still beautiful to watch, though.
What it really does to me is it almost levels the playing field. And you're like, well, let's see how they're going to do it. So that adds, so the Houston series, watching them dominate Portland, being down 18, being down 17, and still coming back without Kevin Durant, you're more enamored and you're more excited to watch how they're going to accomplish this than just their overall greatness with Kevin.
I hope none of this sounds like I'm diminishing Kevin Durant.
No.
He might be the best player in the entire world, but there was something about watching the way they play without him that is reminiscent of the way the game was originally intended to be played and so seldom is anymore. And maybe that is what I'm talking about.
Well, even with Kevin, they've always been very high assist and high scoring. It's just a different way. I think a championship team can beat you a lot of different ways. And when you add Kevin to the mix, I know when you're coaching against them, you'd rather coach against them without Durant on the floor.
I can tell you what might be more exciting, though. The way Stephen Curry scores. Like the fact that he has to score more to do that. Like this is reminiscent of how he was the first time they won it, when he was putting up huge numbers, making those crazy shots. I mean, that's what started the whole trend in the NBA with three-point shooting.
All right, we'll talk a lot more about these guys as we go because we're talking about people who might be the best.